Hey everybody, welcome back to this Let's Play of Final Fantasy II for the PlayStation. I am Drak. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, so we are in the Mysidian Tower getting ready to claim the Ultima Scroll. And already, we have boss fight time. Isn't that so awesome? You have done well, but you must defeat me to proceed. Yeah, they all say that. The mage began... Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have a Rita Repulsa moment. Go, go, Power Rangers. And the wizard turns into a giant. Time to call the Megazord. Alright, this is the Fire Gigas, or Fire Gigas. Earthbound fans are probably screaming at me right now. You can't even get it right. You can't get Gigas right. And there's a very simple solution for that. I never played Earthbound, so, you know. It's on my list, but I haven't played it. And wow. So, this guy's a pushover. He's the first, but he certainly isn't the last. And we got some flame mail out of it, so I'm not complaining. That's something that I can use on somebody else. So, let's see. I believe, yes, I give it over to her, since my casters are kind of weak in armor. Alright, so now we're in the second portion of the Mysidian Tower, which is the ice portion, kind of. And I will admit, I did do a little bit of cutting here, because I got a lot of encounters, man. It was kind of not fair. It's like my computer immediately found out that I was doing recording, and therefore it had to throw like every possible encounter it could at me. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? Why can't I just do this? So we're working our way through the bombs. And that didn't kill them. I was gonna say Reyna. Holy crap. Maria, I'm disappointed in you. This comes from trying to watch Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight and trying to do so many things in one day that you just kind of lose track of everything. Everything kind of blurs together. And I hope everybody's had a good week. I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 parts in 1 week last week, and then also the introduction of Castle of Illusion with me and my wife. I'm not saying that you won't see her on this particular LP, but I'm really kind of being selective about it. She's not a fan of Final Fantasy, and therefore, if we come across something that she's interested in, because she is a fan of Kingdom Hearts, then we'll bring her in, because it's characters she knows. This probably won't happen until much later. And of course, I've done all my turns, and therefore this game decided, yeah, we're going to just let you do your thing. And then we're going to hit you endlessly. And man, it has been a busy week. I've been basically playing catch up with about a month's worth of footage that had been recorded for both this LP, the stuff I'm doing with Andrea, and for Drak and Shadow. And I'm still not caught up, but I'm about 80% there. So thankfully we're getting there. Plus, you know, we had things come up, like, for example, people might have seen on the Drak and Shadow channel, we just did the belated review of the 2014 reboot of Godzilla. And, you know, it's been a couple of days, and I actually think, I can't talk towards Alex, but I can express my opinions here. I think I was a little harsh. Because now, I've been thinking back to it, and you know what? As far as, you know, the criteria to be a Godzilla movie is concerned, this met it. This film met the criteria. But it just still bothers me that, you know, or the film still bothers me, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because of the spoilers. I mean, we already do a huge spoiler alert for the review. But overall, it's a Godzilla movie. Godzilla fans will enjoy it. People who are curious about the franchise, this is close enough to what Japan and Toho did that you will get the same kind of experience. So you're not going to lose anything there. It's just, you know, as a Godzilla fan, there were a couple of gripes I had here and there. But nothing so bad as to say this movie was subpar. And I think I actually gave it like a 6.5 on my review, or on the review, where Alex gave it 5. I think I might actually push 7. It's a good movie. You will get enjoyment out of it. It is a popcorn movie. All you have to do is kind of like with what I say to a lot of people who were worried about Pacific Rim. I just say, you know what? Here's what you got to do. Check your brain at the door, and the only thing to look forward to in that film is giant robots kicking giant monsters' butts, you know, or having really good giant fights of giant robots and giant monsters, and you'll enjoy it. And they actually do come out and say, yeah, I did enjoy it with that criteria. If I was judging it on a whole bunch of other things, I might not have. It's kind of like what I've done with the Michael Bay Transformers movies, is where I was disappointed with 2 because I was, you know, now that they'd done the popcorn flick with the original, I wanted some actual story, and they didn't really give one, as far as I'm concerned. And then when I went to the 3rd, I checked my brain at the door, and I did not expect, you know, all the things that make me love Transformers as a series overall, but just to see giant robots kick the crap out of each other, and I got some enjoyment out of it. And Gareth is stoned, because basilisks hate me. Wonderful. Minus a gold needle now. That's the part that sucks with this. You have to give them the needle. Dang it! Alright. But yeah, so we've got plenty up there, plus we did a summer showcase of what's going on with Drak and Shadow, as well as Shadow Blazer's channel, as well as my own. And so I think you all will be very happy with what's going on with this channel, as well as with Alex's individually, as well as Drak and Shadow. We've got lots of stuff coming. You know, some of the examples that I can give is for Alex's channel. I know if you've seen the preview and were a little perturbed that Alex didn't give you a whole lot of info, trust me when I say this. He's worked his butt off, and I know what he's doing, and he's kind of sworn me to secrecy. Got my own little minor NDA here. He's got some stuff going on. I mean, he's a totally an anime geek, and this month's worth of stuff that he's working on really showcases how much of a passionate nerd he is about anime. And holy crap, I keep on getting all these freaking random encounters. See, this is what I mean. Like, 4 steps, and then I'm into a random encounter again. But yeah, Alex has been working hard. I've been working hard. I've also been enjoying bringing my wife into the mix, because Alex and me have always had a problem, because we know a lot of people wanted us to do more modern games, and we already had so much on the list that we went, how on earth are we going to fit this in? This provided an outlet for us to do it, at least for the time being. So that at that point, sure, it's on my channel, but, you know, it eventually does have the potential to cross over into Drak and Shadow for a more modern game. And this worked out because it allowed for Andrea to be able to show kind of her expertise in gaming, as well as for us to be able to compare as old school gamers to the modern trends. And we've got some good games on the list, don't get me wrong. We've got some good 2013 games that are on that list, and we are excited to play them, some of them. But I'm biased. Let's see. And then obviously we've got Final Fantasy coming. Hopefully we'll be done with Final Fantasy 2 pretty soon. People have actually been asking me, since we're like 20 plus parts in, when does it end? You know, because Mystic Quest ended roughly at 20 parts. I'm trying to remember, what part did Final Fantasy... It was like, I don't even think it got to 15 parts. So, we got pretty high up there on those, and now we're at 20... I think this is 23. You know, when does this thing end? Believe it or not, we're actually really close to the end. From here on, now, you know, once we get the Ultima Scroll, endgame starts happening. because we are the most powerful mofos in the game at this point. Or at least we should be. Let's see. So now we've gotten some ice gloves. And I'm frozen. I'm trying to figure out... I'm actually probably looking at the map because I don't want to get lost. And in the ice floors, it's really easy to do so. Let's see. Some of the other things that... I do get this question, and so I probably better start going into it a little bit, is what am I currently playing now that I have some time? So I've been getting into a couple of games recently. First of all, I've been getting a little bit more into Batman Arkham City. And it still continues to impress me. I just barely did the quest line with Ra's al Ghul. And I have not seen a better interpretation. Like, I'm one of those people that's kind of irritated with the Liam Neeson Ra's al Ghul, because they missed out on a lot of the cool aspects of Ra's that make him a very formidable foe to Batman, but also a respectable foe. And this one kind of took the animated series plus some of the stuff they've done in the comics and made a nice little blend for a really great character. And I know the actress who plays Talia al Ghul, she sounds really familiar. He didn't sound so much. I may have to listen back on him, but I know Talia is somebody I know. Oh, that's right. She's I think she's the lead from Castle with Nathan Fillion. Great job. I like Talia. And Talia is one of those characters that you can't help but like her at some points, because yes, her motives are not as just as Batman's, but she's one of those characters that you always want to see just come over to the side of light kind of thing. And you know she would be a good force for good. But yeah, it was a really good sequence, and I just barely started things up where I'm getting the blood of Ra's al Ghul over to Mr. Freeze, and I guess something's going on there. I literally stopped it right as I was walking into the building, so I have no idea what's happening there, but I really hope it's going to end up in a Mr. Freeze fight. That would be really cool to me. So overall, I am liking the game again. It plays really, really well. I haven't really done a whole lot of the side quests, and I'm debating whether or not to do them as soon as the main story is complete, and then go through all that, because I know I'm going to go hit the DLC. I'm just that much interested in it. So we'll see. I'm not usually a guy for a lot of side content, but if the game gives me enough reason to do it, I'll do it. Don't get me wrong, I will do it. Oh, and I'm going to get enticed by the vampirettes. Oh, Gareth! Wah, 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 wah. And that was a really big hit to Gus. Holy moly. Oh, good. At least he didn't hit anybody. And then he got out of it. Smack! Ow! Poor Gus. Gus is not having a good time these days, especially since a lot of the higher-end armor has been going to other people. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I really didn't want my casters or my healers to die. And since, you know, Gus was taking care of his own up until this point, I didn't really need to worry about it too much. And now he's sitting at about 3,000 HP, so that helps. Oh, and here's the final floor. Oh, I hate this one too. This is where I did a lot of cutting, because like every second or third step I started getting... See, there you go. You can see me cutting out the fights. I got so frustrated at this point that I just said, screw it. I'm cutting out the fights. Let's get through this floor, and let's get through the rest of this dungeon. So another game that I've been playing recently has once again been God of War Ascension. I'm really close to beating it. I know that much. And I'm kind of glad, because I want to get this notch off my list. It hasn't impressed me all that much. In fact, a lot of the beefs that I've had with God of War Ascension have been kind of the beefs that I had with the Darksiders series. I find it strange that the same beefs came up in God of War. Never thought I'd see that happen. Alright, and so it looks like we have yet another boss. And you have done well, but you must defeat me to proceed! And just because this is going to be a Rita Repulsa moment, make my monster grow! Yes, I don't sound like Rita. And we had the Fire Gigas before, now we have the Ice Gigas. Gigas! Alright. And I did not think that through because I wanted to get shield up. Boom! Shield on everybody but Gareth. Because why not? Can we do it? Fire 7. Ouchie, ouchie. Yep, there he goes. I'm so mean to these monsters, I just annihilate them. Again, I'm the bad guy here. I did it in every Final Fantasy game. It's just the way I play, guys, you know. A lot of people think I level a little bit too much. You might be right, but I like to be prepared for any circumstance. And that's just me. So here we are at the last few floors of the Mysidian Tower. There really is... There's a theme to it, but not in the overall level design, so we don't need to worry too much about that. But let me get back into God of War Ascension, because I have a feeling people are going to be asking, you know, why did you hate it that much? I don't hate it, it's just, it's not giving me a whole lot of reason to think it's just absolutely awesome. It's not. There were a couple of good moments here and there, and a couple of mechanics that I wish had been in God of War 3, and I think would have made it a little bit better. But the story is just not gripping me. If that makes any sense. It's not, it doesn't have me by the throat kind of thing. It doesn't make me, like, sit on the edge of my seat to see what's going to happen next, like 3 did. You know, I especially loved in 3 the whole concept of Hades. Because, you know, this is, like, time number 2 we've gone down to the realm of the dead, and this time around we take out Hades, and that was freaking cool. This time around, there's just not really a whole lot of big moments in it for me. I'm not saying that the story isn't okay, but it's not necessarily a story we needed to see in game format. If anything, you know, maybe one of the things that somebody suggested to me, and I loved it, was if you're going to do another God of War game, since Kratos' story is kind of done, why not go into another culture's mythology of the God of War and do that? And I thought that was a great idea. So, like, go into ancient Nordic mythology, if there's... I don't think there's a God of War, that one, but... Or ancient Egyptian mythology. Something like that. And do God of War all over again in this mythology's format. I think that would be really cool. But instead we got this weird prequel story that just does not... You could literally take Ascension out and still enjoy the first 3 games on what they are. This doesn't add anything to that equation to make it just that much more awesome. And I've even been told, like, the biggest feature of this game was God of War multiplayer, which I even looked at that and went, yeah, no, you haven't thought this one out. And I had friends that did pick up the God of War multiplayer and just hated it. It was like 30 minutes to get into a game, and on top of that, it wasn't challenging to them. I will never tackle it, but I believe them. I don't think Santa Monica gave that much thought into that. And it just sounds to me like that's obvious. But overall, it's an okay game. If you're a God of War fan, you'll find more enjoyment in it than a newcomer. If a newcomer would have come into the God of War series, I would literally say start from 1 and go through 3. And if you're a fan by that point, try Ascension. But you don't have to try it to enjoy it. Because, like, for me, the best game is 3. I loved how 3 kind of became this epic climax to this really long and hard-fought story. And so Ascension to me is just the prequel we didn't need. It's like if you did Dark Knight Rises and then Christian Bale decided, oh yeah, I want to do another Batman movie. And you did Batman Negative, where you showed Bruce Wayne growing up. Pointless. I don't need to see Bruce Wayne growing up to understand who he is. And in a lot of cases, especially in this take with God of War, where they try to show a softer side to Kratos. And I'll admit, I love that part about God of War 3, that they tried to show a softer side to him. But that made sense after 2 games of just horrendous buildup of him being this horrible person. This one just kind of makes him just feel broken, if that makes any sense. You have done well, but you must defeat me to proceed. So now we have the 3rd and final boss. Make my monster grow! And this time we get the Thunder Gigas. Now, a lot of people might think he has an earth weakness. Believe it or not, no. He's one of the few reasons why I give Maria a poison spell. Because it works for him. So let's get our shields up here. Shields up! Shields up, number 1. Ow. He literally threw a boulder at me. That wasn't cool. Okay, well that wasn't too much, but we're gonna make up for it. That's alright. We're just gonna cast haste anyway, because I wanna get this guy done. Excuse me. Yay, we're super fast now. Or at least one of us is. The one that doesn't hit that hard. Because that makes sense, right? Poison 6. Boom! Thunder Gigas is down. Thunder Gigas, sorry. Okay, so now, literally, right as I'm walking up the stairs, random freaking encounter. This is actually one of the longer dungeons in the game, I'll admit that. The longest dungeon is yet to come, and that one's gonna be a pain. But we're getting close to the end, so that's good. This pretty much kind of marks our way into endgame. Alright, go up the stairs, and we still have a few more floors. And that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to be happy to complete God of War Ascension. And I have been told to try out the PSP games, and I might do that. Because I've heard that they're kind of some good Elseworld stories. Which is interesting because I think Ascension literally makes one canon. Because I know one of them, like, the villain is Kratos' brother. And his brother is mentioned in Ascension. So that'll be interesting. But that won't be for a while. Another game that I've been getting into has been Final Fantasy 13-2. And I'm not too far into it, but I've done a few things with it. First of all, I tried out downloadable content with it. Not the Coliseum or anything like that, but maybe it's just me, but the costumes in the game are kind of silly. And so I basically got two. One as an improvement for Noel, and then I actually didn't use it because it looks sillier. And then I decided to go with another one for Sarah, because, I'm sorry, that outfit that they have her in this game is just plain ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't have minded if she'd stuck in the same outfit as 13. Yeah, granted, it would have been, you know, fighting schoolgirl, but the outfits that they have available for her just are ridiculous. Especially that, you know, they did the bikini for her, and oh boy, I have so many problems with that one. It's why? But at the same time, you know, there are only maybe 2 costumes that I found were remotely worth paying money for just to get rid of the silliness. One of which was the classic White Mage. I appreciated that. The one I actually went for was the free one. The one that was designed by fans. The Style and Steel. And it's okay. But overall, the story for that is kind of impressing me. It's kind of a Monster of the Day-esque kind of feel. Each era has their own paradoxes, and you got to go in and solve them. So it doesn't feel horrible, but we will get more into that next episode. So we are going to take a break for the week. Next week, we will finally get through the Mysidian Tower and claim the Ultima Scroll. Until then, I am Drak, and this has been a Let's Play of Final Fantasy II. See you then.